gentlemen, we are tonight's entertainment. I only have one question.
Are you ready?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 34 of Sundaze here on Hell Entertainment. You can find us at facebook.com/Sundaze. Also find us on YouTube, Spotify. Damn it. I made a mistake. On Spotify and YouTube at Hell Entertainment 666 on YouTube. Yeah. But you can find Sundaze on Spotify for all those shows that you have happened to miss over the months and months of. So you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, as I mentioned, and our Twitch, which Miss Widow Black will be playing some video games hopefully shortly on there to get you guys entertained. She'll talk about that, too, of what game she's playing. Quick recap of last week. Pumpkin carving contest. Our winner was Fatty. He was the lucky winner of a $50 gift card, a bunch of other swag, a premiere comic book from Talking with the Dead. So congrats again to Fatty. And it is November 1st, which means a new Demon of the Month. Our very own Miss Widow Black obviously is joining us as she does every Sunday. You can catch her at hellentertainment.com or at her Facebook /Miss Widow Black. And then one more. For all your official Hell Entertainment gear, please go to hellentertainment.com and go to the Demon's Closet. We got all kinds of good swag up there, so go check it out. Buy yourself something nice. The holidays are coming. Treat yourself to an early Christmas present or a late Halloween shirt. Do what you got to do.
There's just no guitars on there. Sorry, guys.
No guitars, but it is what it is. What's going on, everybody? How are we?
What's going on?
Just living another day in paradise. Also, we have Johnny Hickey joining us later. Actor, director of Habitual, new movie that just popped out in its premiere.
It'll be coming out November 13th on demand, Amazon Prime. Well, if you have Amazon Prime, but on Amazon too.
Amazon TV, all that stuff.
Yes.
Good times. So, yes, Miss Widow Black is our Demon of the Month, and I know she is super nervous for the questions we are going to ask her.
I'm not ready for this.
No, I know, but you're gonna. So, I guess for the folks that are just joining us for the first time, Miss Widow Black does our promotions, helps out with the marketing. She does our modeling, as you saw on our Demon's Closet flyer. So she got all around. She's all around with us and helping us out every which way from Sunday. No pun intended. So I guess I'm going to start off lightly for you.
Okay.
What got you doing into the modeling aspect of things?
Trying to think the very first shoot, besides like obviously seeing your pictures, which I had fun with. I had a local photographer here. He was like, "Do you want to do a trash the dress photo shoot?" I'm like, "The hell is that?" Usually it's with a wedding dress, but I mean, I probably was only like 17 at the time. They put me in this huge like cupcake dress and we went paintballing. And I was like, you know what? It's like paintballing is colorful. And I think at that time I was doing it semi-professional, like tournaments and everything. So I brought my prom dress and I went paintballing in my prom dress, like at P&L. But then we just shot with like smoke bombs and I actually had fun with it and seeing the outcome. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's have fun. Let's do this. And back then, I mean, I had absolutely no tattoos and I was blonde. But now, I don't know what you call me, freaking shadow, darkness, blob of color in black. I have fun with it because I have a different style than what you would see most people modeling. And I have fun with it. It's creative and I get out there, so.
Well, there you go. Last night we did go live for a little bit, and we asked some of the viewers, you know, if you have any thoughts or ideas of what we want to, maybe a photo shoot idea. You know, let us know. We're gladly entertain some ideas of what we can do to keep the creativity alive. I think Ashley's having issues over here with her technology.
I'm not.
She's very quiet tonight.
I'm just sharing. Oh, we're going here.
Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. All right, I'm gonna kick it off with a weird one for you. All right. You're in a public restaurant and you just pooped, and then you realize there's no toilet paper. What do you do?
Am I alone at the restaurant, or do I have my phone? Can I like text somebody, be like, "Hey, I need TP for my butthole"?
There's no technology. There's no cell service.
And there's only one stall.
No, I'll call it like a regular restroom where there's another stall, but there's people coming in and out of that stall.
I'd fucking wait, be like, "Hey, I need TP." I would sit there and wait.
Okay.
Even if it takes them like 20 minutes, I'd probably just sit there and be like, "All right, hand it over."
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness, sorry, I'm just trying to fix this. But if there are people coming in and out, I'm going to be like,
would you holler? Would you holler for people and be like, "Hey, can I get some toilet paper?"
Yes, I would holler for some toilet paper.
Yeah, I've definitely been in that situation, even if it's just like fucking pee. I'm like,
oh, I've done that.
Hey, like waving with my hand, like, "Hi, can I have some TP?"
Yo, let me get some TP. All right. Would you rather be covered in fur or scales?
Fur.
Why?
I'd be so soft. I mean, I'd have to worry about hairballs, but even with scales, you'd have to worry about like shedding, wouldn't you? That seems like a rough time having to shed.
Right?
So I'll do fur. That way I keep myself warm and I'm soft.
All right. This one's gonna make you think. What's up, Stephanie? We see you in there. Thank you for joining. If you were rescuing people from a burning building and you had to leave one person behind from this room, who would it be? No offense taken to anyone. So.
Wow. Shit. I can't do that.
We have our answers.
I can't do that.
Dun, 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 dun.
Can I leave the cat behind? Your cat's definitely in the room.
No, she's upstairs. But you got to pick one. And you have 30 seconds to pick it.
I'm just going to let the 30 seconds go.
No, I want an answer. You have to pick one.
That's not cool. Because we have a blast together, but then Ashley and I, we're alike, so we have way too much fun together. Fuck.
You want to give our answers?
Yeah, I want to hear yours.
I said you leave me because I'm too fat and you can't carry me out.
I said you leave me because you need him to be about all the shit.
Oh, God.
But she could probably lift you. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
That's
Are we going to try this one day?
We're going to have to.
Try and squat.
We're going to have to.
Stephanie says it's a mean question. It's a realistic question. What do you got?
I guess it depends on the entire scenario of
I'll sacrifice myself.
Situation.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, the smart thing would just be all of us fucking jump.
Right.
Yeah,
if the cat was in the room, I would definitely pick the cat.
Save the cat.
Save the cat.
Save the
Save
cat.
the animals. No offense.
None taken. What do you got for her?
All right.
Because I have two more that are.
All right. In your opinion, what color would a Smurf turn if it was choking?
I'm gonna say I've always thought purple.
Interesting that you've always thought about this.
You
No, I
thought of
have
the
always thought about this question. Oh yeah, and it's definitely purple
Interesting.
because it can't be green. Like, how do you get yellow? But that would be like sick. And then red is angry, so purple.
I would have said white.
I can see that.
Jeff says green. What's up, Jeff?
What?
What?
You looked at me like, oh, I'm supposed to say hi to Jeff?
No,
hi,
I said hi, Jeff.
I know you did it, and then you looked over at me, and I was like,
All right, as we wait for
I'll say
Johnny,
hi.
as we wait for Johnny to kick in. All right, you ready?
Come in. Yeah, just
Hey.
messaging him.
You paying attention?
Yeah, I'm messaging him.
What the fuck?
It's like hair in my mouth.
Oh.
I'm shutting.
If you had to choose between going naked or having your thoughts appear in bubbles above your head for people to read, which would you choose?
Well, going naked would be freaking fun because I make people be like, what the fuck's going on? But then if they see the thoughts in my head, I think that might scare them a little bit more. So I'm going to say the bubbles above my head.
What was the question?
Going naked or having your thoughts appear above your head, like pop-up video
Oh.
for people to see?
I mean, they just see like Halloween and all that stuff, or just like me looking at people and like murdering them. So they'd be like, oh, all right, staying
That's a
away.
question. I'll have to think about that one.
You gotta think about that
I'll go
one.
back to you.
Or they'd see Taco Bell because Taco Bell is always on the brain.
Tacos are always on the brain, regardless. Doesn't
Right?
have to be Taco Bell.
No, but I had Taco Bell yesterday and I want more.
Jeff says he's going naked always.
That doesn't surprise any of us. Watch.
After seeing his pumpkin last week, it doesn't surprise.
I have a question. What part of the human face is your favorite and why?
Like on her face or on somebody else?
Just like, doesn't matter.
Okay.
It says the human face.
The human face.
Eyes.
You got an eye guy.
Eye for an eye.
Definitely eyes.
Okay. Have we heard any word from Johnny yet?
No, I can try and give him a quick call if I mute.
No, we'll just run with it. If he pops in, he pops in. We'll play his trailer in a minute.
Okay.
All right, my last question for you. What are some things that you think of while on the toilet?
What is with you and all these toilet questions?
You need to like shit or something right now.
You didn't even ask her.
Always have to shit. You know this.
Like TP over enter. You might as well just ask her.
It's always over.
Yeah, it is. Now, hold on. Do you scrunch or do you fold?
I fold.
So you screw. Oh my god.
Definitely cats. Definitely cats is what I think of.
Sorry, doing my best Facebooking.
Yeah, definitely. And
Oh,
like
that's what?
Halloween shoots and what I want to eat.
What's up, Miles?
Have us.
Oh, the Taco Bell. Yes. Meanwhile, I ate Zach's Taco Bell yesterday. Whoops.
You got one last one before we play the habitual trailer?
Sure. Let me look in my handy dandy notebook.
It's like Blue's Clues.
Pretty much. If you could compare yourself to any animal, what would it be?
Cat.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was fast.
She thought about that one.
I think because we asked so many of these. Definitely a cat because I enjoy eating, I enjoy sleeping, and I use the bathroom a lot. Definitely a cat, yeah. If I ever could be like reincarnated, I want to be a cat because most cats can take care of themselves. And you just get to you can either like people or don't like people. And then you can swat at them when you're done, like getting pet and everything.
Okay. I get it.
Logical answer.
All right. We're going to go and rock the habitual trailer. You guys take a look at it, and then we will be back momentarily.
Douglas to Walker, come in.
Walker to Douglas, go ahead.
Yeah, we got a tip about kids scouting local asylums, looking to set up a rave tomorrow night. Gonna need you to spot check all buildings on site.
Roger that. You guys ready to get this party started?
You okay?
You should be taking your medication.
Everybody's dying from this shit. It's killing more people than drunk drivers. You know the shit? You read the shit, you watch the news?
You're never getting out of here.
I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna straighten it all up.
Now, I don't know why I come back here anymore. I think it was because I believed that kid I grew up with was still in there. I don't know anymore.
That was the trailer for Habitual. Looks like a pretty badass movie. Looks like we're not going to get Johnny in today from what we see, but that's okay. Christina was actually part of the filming crew and did some makeup effects. So we'll chat with you and ask you some questions on that, and you can talk about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was it? I mean, for you being on set doing makeup, what was that experience like for you?
This was, I believe, about 3 or 4 years ago. I was tagged on Facebook from somebody that I worked at Barrett's with, being like, hey, we need a makeup artist for our film up in the first one that I went to was Westboro. I had no clue where Westboro was, but I gave him a call and he's like, yeah, we're doing a film. We're here for a couple days, paid gig. It's going in a movie, like independent. And he's like, I did Oxymorons on, his first film was Oxymorons. That is also on Amazon. So I was like, hell yeah. And he's like, can you get here in like an hour? But it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. I'm like, let me hop in the truck. Back then, my truck only got like 8 miles to a gallon and couldn't go over 60. I'm like, I'll see what I can do. So it was at Westboro State Hospital that is now taken down, but it was like abandoned buildings. And it was 8 of them. And I rolled up to one. That was the only one you could really go in. And I quickly met everybody. And he was like, this is Stiz. Actually, he was from WAAF or Stiz or Stan. He's like, this is who you're going to be murdering today. Okay. All right. What the shoot? And in the movie, they take Molly, I think it is. It's a form of Molly that they take. And his scene dealt with razors and syringes. So my thing was I had to figure out how can I make edible syringes, edible razors, and put them all in his skin. And I went up, I had nothing prepared, and I just banged it out, and it was actually really cool. Oh, I see him coming on. Device not connected, so waiting for it. But it was kind of cool, like hopping up. I had a couple hours to prep, so I ran to like local hardware store. I ended up making little razors out of paper. That way he could eat them. Because then we had like razors all around and real syringes. Like the scene I did was fucking cool. so I quickly made them with edible paint and everything. And then the syringes, I was able to like cut off the needle part, but we kept the actual syringe. And I just did like a paper clip. So it looked like the needle, but that way, like if he were to just bonk himself, it wouldn't actually pin him.
Very cool.
So that, and then after he's like, can you come back up this day and a couple other locations? And it was cool.
That's awesome. Didn't your effects makeup, did it win an award or was it nominated?
It did get, the whole movie did get, I think it was about 8 different awards. And I think really, I can pull it up. One was part of the makeup, the horse part. I can take a peek. But a cool thing was, so there was a couple other artists that worked too. And during the credits, the name above me was my mentor, Skippy, the first person I ever met that taught me how to do like special effects makeup. So that was kind of cool that my name was right under him. Like I was excited.
That's cool. So when you do the special effects makeup, like with the syringes and stuff, how long is someone sitting in a chair for you to get them all done up to shoot?
His makeup, I think, took the application part between like an hour to 2 hours. It was just the prepping because we had to go run to a store, get some of the materials to make. One person was able to get the real syringes from a hospital nearby. But then that's when I was just doing latex. So getting the latex to dry. And then it was like the base coat. But then once we got into the scene room, we had to add all the blood and see like what looks good on the camera. And his scene is, it's nasty, but it's awesome.
No, that's cool that you got to experience that. And I know Johnny's trying to come in, but looks like having some difficulties.
Connections.
Yes, good old technology. No, that's super cool. I'm super pumped. I hope you get to do something like that again in the future as far as the special effects makeup.
It's messaging.
Have you done anything else prior to that got you into it, or how did you get involved with the special effects?
I worked at Barrett's in Abington. So that's kind of the start of where buying all the things from Spirit and then upgrading to Miron and special ordering, silicone, and then kind of just sitting here. I would sit on, like the other day, I went live from my Facebook doing the Chucky. I would just sit here and I remember doing something across my throat, keeping like my mouth shut with liquid latex. Just because you don't really see that.
Liquid latex. It's fun.
Liquid latex?
Yeah, it's wicked fun.
We've never played with it.
It smells really bad.
It does, but it's really fun.
It smells really, really bad, but liquid latex you can use for like tissue paper or cotton balls. In his case, we used, I think it was cotton balls to make it look like the skin.
Yeah. TP's good too.
I think we did one more shooting there where I had to make like intestines, and then another location I got asked to do the serial killer. Not serial killer or the slasher, CT. And sometimes like I just went and they're like, okay, so this is what we're doing. Like I had no clue some days, or he would give me like a heads up. And I was doing CT's makeup one day, and he's from MTV Challenge. And he was so precise about like how he wanted his hands to look. And it was fine because I didn't realize who it was at first. And then he called and he's like, oh yeah, that was CT from MTV. I was like, oh no shit. Like he was awesome. And he's an insane killer, I guess you could say.
That's cool. I see Johnny's down there. He's got his devices connected, it looks like. We'll bring him in, see what's going on, and chat with him for a minute if he's ready to roll. Looks like he's up to dinner.
Yeah.
So let's bring him in and see what's happening. Hey, what's up, Johnny?
I'm walking in the fucking rain. That's what's up.
Oh no.
Story of my life. I was trying to tag into you guys for a minute. I was in a venue and no fucking Wi-Fi in there. I thought it would be like cool. There we go.
Yeah,
perfect. Right, we can hear you.
Excellent.
All right, good. What is up?
Not too much. Thank you for coming in and being able to get in. We were just talking with Christina about her role in Habitual with the effects, makeup, and everything. So
Christina crushed it. She saved my life on that set. She did.
Yeah, we played the trailer before we started talking about the segment, and the trailer looks incredible. The movie looks awesome, so I'm very excited to see that when that comes out in November. How did your premieres go with the drive-ins over the past 2 days?
Oh, we can't hear you. It might have logged to your car, or you might have hit
Bluetooth. Bluetooth.
Yeah, Bluetooth.
No, Bluetooth when you get in the car.
That happens to me all the time.
No,
can't hear you.
Now can you hear me?
Yep,
yes.
Now we can hear you.
Better?
Bluetooth.
Yep.
Much better.
Now I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Hold on, give me a sec. Cancel.
It's all live.
I'm trying to figure out these
Just roll with the punches, you know?
You guys got me?
Yeah,
yes.
We got you. Yep.
Let there be light. I know it is raining out. I can hear it. It's pouring.
Oh.
I think he might be leaving, coming back.
All right, I'm going to run a quick commercial while he does that, and we'll be back.
Yes, sir. You know what to do. It's your dad, homie Blaze, coming through with a little message just for you. The homies over at Hell Entertainment hit me up. They told me they doing it all, yo. They doing it all, from photography to graphic design and publications, yo. And that ain't it. They doing it for artists. They doing it for artists around the motherfucking world. That's right. Not just your backyard. Not just out there on the streets in the States. They talking about the motherfucking world. That means the whole goddamn globe. That circle, that whole motherfucking circle. That's what the fuck they doing the damn thing. Everybody, yo. And that ain't all. That ain't all. Look. They on that next level. That's right. Center Sundaze. They doing their own podcast, 8 p.m. Eastern. They talking about everything from music and more. Check them out today, yo. Check them out today. You heard it here first. From your homie and my homies over at Hell Entertainment. Yo, that's what's up, bitch. I'm about this motherfucker. Body's on no one suspicious about who shot me. It's interesting to see the means and the tactics they take.
All right, so
I guess while we
wait for Johnny. Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Do it. Do your thing.
You can't match their hat.
Oh, yeah, it did. I feel like I should be skiing right now. I guess I can talk about how it was filming at each location that I went to, because we went to 2 hospitals. The Westboro one had no electricity around. So he had a trailer for like makeup, a trailer for one of the other guys that did the producing, and then just generators everywhere because we had to get all the wiring up. But then the other one in Tewksbury, that one was actually more haunted than the other asylum that didn't have electricity. And that one was kind of cool because it was easier to set up everything, but it was 4 floors, which is really creepy to walk around in. But it was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's bring him in, see what we got.
Am I back?
Yep, you're back. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine now, yeah.
All right.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like, look at me. I'm like out in this. I'm out in this shit.
No worries. Again, we appreciate you taking some time to chat with us.
No, I apologize. The screening was good last night. We canceled Friday. Last night was like 25 fucking degrees, so it was like it's kind of a trip, but it was good. And people loved it as always. But that was just kind of like just to do something with it on Halloween, just to like give people a chance to see it on Halloween, because it's Halloween and it's 2020 fucked up world we're in. So I figured like put it somewhere. But the real deal is, in 2 weeks we go live nationwide, everywhere. Everywhere anywhere you can rent a movie, we're there. So it's pretty amazing.
Hell yeah, that's sick.
That's awesome. I'm very excited to see it. Like I said, the trailer was great. How long did the film take from the start to the final piece?
2 years, just about over 2 years for the final piece. Christina knows, like, so basically we filmed the movie pretty much, and screened it at the IMAX in Reading, but that was all with the intentions to kind of like raise, get the attention of investors to be like, this is what we have now, but if you invest a little bit more money and we can do this, and this, then we can make something a lot better. So then a year into that, we were able to pull that off. Another year into production and post-production, and now here we are now, and it's going live.
That's awesome. What got you into doing the acting and the directing?
When I was a kid, I had a pretty messed up life. Grew up in the projects in Charlestown, and my escape as a kid was going over to the Assembly Square Mall in Somerville, where there was at the time it was called the Lowe's Theater, which is like the AMC chain now. And I would go over there and I would just watch movies. But I fell in love with horror movies as a kid. Like, that was like the world that I connected with from where I was from. That made sense to me. Like, oh, it's not just all like what I see and what I've been through. It's like, look at this stuff. This is way worse. And so I fell in love with horror movies. And then from like just loving horror movies and watching horror movies, like the Clive Barkers, like the Nightbreed and things like that really stuck out to me. Eventually I started to pick movies apart and figure out like, I don't like that. I don't like this. And I wanted to always make movies in my mind more real, more like that kind of docu style, but also not like to the docu style that you feel like it's a found footage film that, what I mean? That, it's kind of like that gimmick.
Yep.
So I always wanted to like kind of cross those lines of like a movie that is, really horrific and has all this crazy shit in it, but also feels very real to your soul, like you feel like this could really be happening, not just like it's just a movie. You kind of get lost in it. My first film was a crime drama that was like ultra violent and stuff because it's kind of based on my true life events. But horror was what I wanted to do. That was my passion project. So breaking in with my crime drama kind of gave me the amp to step up to the next level and do this crime drama this horror film that we have now. And it's not just a horror film. People watch the trailer now. The newest trailer, they kind of get a vibe for it. But it's really it's very psychological. This movie's layered. It's complete mind fuck. It's the kind of movie that you watch and you like, what the fuck, and you got to watch it again and maybe again to really kind of like adapt to those layers of like what's going on.
Yeah, I know. For me personally, those are the kind of horror movies that really fuck with
my
head.
Yeah,
those are the best ones because I love Clive Barker, I love Wes Craven, but those are, to your point, those are the movies, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, when you put a movie on and you got to figure it out in your head, like, oh, he's gonna kill her and that bitch is the fucking real killer.
Right.
It's game over, right?
Yep.
But when you set people up and you bring them on a journey and you're like, all right, I know where this is going, then you go, fuck you, no, you don't. Fuck you again, no, you don't. And you keep skipping that beat, multiple times to the point where they've been on this roller coaster ride so much that they have no idea. They thought they figured it out, and now you blew them out of the water and. And the ending totally twists to an ending where, like, kind of like you could say you had one opinion on it. Christina could say she has one, but everyone could say they have one opinion on it, and kind of everyone be right, even if they weren't the same opinion, which is like really hard to do as a filmmaker. But over the course of 2 years and putting this together as a story and a visual, we were able to pull that off now.
How big was the team that you had to get involved to make it what it is now?
I mean, when we first went in, like all in, we had even though we were indie film, in the sense of like indie guerrilla filmmaking, we had a full crew. I mean, we had, me directing, we had Christina, it was you. I think you were with probably like 2 or 3 other makeup effects artists at times, right?
Yeah, because you had Skippy. I know he did a lot of the prosthetics.
Well, we had Skippy, we had Jordan, we had the other girl. I don't even remember the name. We had Michael. Michael was really good. Michael worked at the beginning. Michael Geary. and you kind of like headed up all the like really like kind of like hardcore stuff for those kills that we had and that laid out throughout the film, whether it was filmed a year ago or now. So we had that kind of makeup effects team, but then we had a sound guy, gaffers, production assistant. We had probably a 20 to 30 person team in and out of the whole production.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
So we had a real, we had a solid team. Everybody brought their A game, from Christina, myself, everybody in my crew, and then all the cast. The cast really, like, these are all like non-actors. Don't forget, these are all people
CT
that,
was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, so me and CT grew up together. He's my childhood best friend. He's used to being on TV as far as like the challenges and all the MTV shit goes, but CT, like, what people don't realize is, like, it's not he's just in this movie because he's my friend and he plays. You see him in the trailer as like himself, but like that character, that the malevolent kind of spirit in the movie, the blight, that he created that. Like we came up with the mask and the makeup and the idea of it, but he really adapted to the movements of that character and like the psychological stuff that character does to his victims and stuff, and crushed it. And then the cast, as far as like the people who are kind of victimized throughout the movie, I mean, Stanley, Sabrina, Allie, Dottie. I mean, Dottie playing, this girl's a hula hoop girl from like the rave scene, never acted in her life. And she's playing not only like off of like a real kind of like just potty girl kind of role to this like girl that's like possessed and can contort her body upside down and do all this fucked up shit that she did that was amazing.
It's like,
so it was a team effort of like just me kind of eyeballing young, new talent that, they're hungry and they want to do stuff, and like kind of just putting all those moving pieces together and then somehow creating the perfect storm for us.
Heck yeah.
So when you picked your staff and your cast, assuming there was some sort of audition piece for them to go for their parts, what was that audition process like?
So the audition process was like, so there was a lot of people that we had come in and read different roles that I even thought were going to do really well and didn't. And, we'd come in and we'd have them read, like, I do the off script, and then I have them also like improv, like, fuck the script, do this how you would do it. So there's a lot of improv involved in it, because I feel personally, to make these films that stylistically I told you kind of feel like this could really happen. If it's too scripted, you're going to catch that in the storytelling. No matter how good the movie is, you're going to catch that screenwriting. Whereas if people are kind of creating the natural dialogue, then you adapt to that. So what I would do is I would have someone read for the role off the script. I'd like this person, this person, this person. Then I would bring those people in as a group and then have them improv off of that script that they already know within each other to kind of see whose chemistry within each actor kind of worked. All the way to the point where I had one girl, I'm not going to throw her under the bus, but there's one girl who's like on MTV, and she had a bigger role in the movie because she was on MTV. And there was a younger girl, Allie, in the movie who had a smaller role and had no acting experience. She's a musical artist, young girl, but her scenes just during the first shoots just like crushed the small roles that she had. So when we did the second set of reshoots, I cut out the MTV girl and wrote Allie in for this lead role and extended her role, because those small parts that she did, she just shined on camera, and her acting was just so genuine, and like she just had that natural ability that it only made sense. It was like, I don't care if this girl doesn't have a huge social media following like the other girl has 50,000 people. This girl, you feel her in the script,
Right,
you feel
real.
her in the video. So it's not about the fucking like MTV bullshit and all that. That's just a gimmick, and it's cool for when it works for, but I'm not also going to let that dictate where the story's going. So we rewrote Allie's role in, and that's the girl who's like running down the hallway in the Dread Central exclusive clip and all that stuff, and she just killed it. And it was probably one of the best decisions I made as a filmmaker, to do that and not go with that kind of play of like, oh well, this girl has a bigger following, and kind of shift gears a little bit and really focus on the actors for that.
How long did it take you to write the film and completely come up with the idea before you could start?
So what's crazy is my first film Oxymorons I wrote back in 2010. That movie came out and everything, and there were these scenes within Oxymorons. If you ever seen Oxymorons, anyone who has, where Oxymorons is a true to life kind of crime drama. These nightmare sequences where they're like drug induced nightmare sequences, and they made me trim out probably like a half hour of those in the cutting room floor when I was in Hollywood. And I always hated that because they were like, this movie needs to be more true life event. That stuff's more like horror, psychological. And in my mind, I was always like, but that's the real shit that goes on in your head when you're affected by drug abuse and all that shit. But whatever, I played the game and I released my first movie. And I always held those cards close to my chest. And some of those scenes made it in the cut of Oxymorons. But I said, you know what? Fuck this. The next film I do is going to be 99% of that shit.
Good for you.
So I had, from the time of Oxymorons moving forward, throughout working on different sets and stuff, I always had habitual in my mind. It was always here. So it was like, as far as when you ask how long it take me to write, it was just always being done in my head. But when it came time to put it on paper as a script to make a movie, I banged that thing out in 30 days.
Oh wow!
30 days. But we're talking a few years of building that in my head of these characters and these ideas. And then you write the screenplay, and there's the story you write, there's the story you shoot, there's the story you edit, and there's ultimately the story that everybody sees on whatever screen they watch it on. And they're all different very much. So a lot of the stuff I wrote in the original Habit is what it was called, because that was the name of the rave that these kids were going to in the movie. It was called The Habit. And I changed it to Habitual because habit conflicted with too many other habits in movies and whatever. So I just switched gears a little bit. But as I was, creating that on set and being in these abandoned asylums and state hospitals, that these fucking locations that were just unreal, as far as just the energy and the ideas that, from sitting in my bedroom on my computer on final draft writing something to actually being in a state hospital with Christina with all these makeup ideas and this actor doing this, and you kind of rewrite the whole thing in your head if you're a filmmaker. If you're just a director, you marry yourself to the screenplay that's in front of you and you direct those scenes and you get it done and it's over and done with. But as a filmmaker, you get on set and you got a 100-page screenplay that's ready to go, but then you see this room, and then you see that girl, and then you see that guy, and you see how they interact, and then you see what this girl can do with makeup and that guy can do with makeup, and you see your ideas start to shift gears. So I was constantly rewriting stuff while on set and kind of just building the pieces, building, which is kind of why it took so long to get it from the first draft to where it is now. But it was the best decision I ever made, not to rush this thing and to get, what we ultimately have now for everybody to see.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely don't want to rush a project. You want to get it to where it's 100% for you, to what you think the viewers are going to enjoy. When it came to the locations, what was the deciding factor on the locations that you guys chose?
So, I knew that the story took place in an abandoned lunatic asylum where these kids were going to a rave. So no matter, at all costs, I had to get something that resembled that. Whether I was getting exterior shots of asylums and then shooting in a warehouse somewhere. But what I did was, because the movie has a message about drugs like my first film, and it's not like an anti-drug movie, but it has the layers that shows the collateral damage of drug abuse in it. I was able to play that card with the cities and the state to get locations that it was kind of like a shot in the dark. If we can get this location, great, but if not, we're going to use this location. And sure enough, Westboro State Hospital gave us full clearance to shoot in 13 buildings of their abandoned state hospital before they tore it down. And then, and it was really hot and raw there, which was great for the movie because it made everything feel so organic and realistic that we were in 18-degree weather, freezing fucking cold, no power, no electricity, just kind of running, fake blood sticking to people's fucking heads and shit. It was nuts. And then while we were there filming, a connection came through for Tewksbury State Hospital because they were filming they filmed Slender Man there, New Mutants, Castle Rock, that new Adam Sandler movie, Hubie's Halloween. a bunch of movies have been filming there, and I was like, well, if the movie's filming, it's probably cheesy. But I was like, let me check out the location because it had heat and electricity, which is something we weren't used to 2 months in on this project. And so we went there, and the state hospital showed me this building called the NERPY building, which is their original home for the criminally insane. It was built in the late 1800s. So old that the cell doors are made of wood, and there's fingernail marks in the fucking doors from people trying to like scratch their way out or whatever they were doing. And we got in this building. They gave us clearance to film in this building that the state police used for canine training, and it was a legit, like, completely abandoned asylum, but asbestos-free, heat, electricity. So we kind of got the free. So when I had that ability to like now be in a building that had heat, electricity, and kind of like not have to stress about like cutting a day based on the weather and electricity or whatever. Within this facility to do that. And then they gave us the new we actually filmed an award of the actual functioning state hospital right now that is like a current like drug addiction, mental hospital, a bunch of things in Tewksbury, which is where we filmed the more kind of contemporary sequences of the movie.
Excellent.
Very cool.
Christina, what do you got? You've been quiet up there.
Been listening because it was just so cool to see it all come to life, and definitely what he said, that second one we went to in Tewksbury, the energy there was so much different. Just his brain was exploding with all these fun ideas. We had somebody hanging upside down at one point. It was awesome. I just drew a blank on it. I'm totally sorry. What is so we did say, and me watching the movie, I have never, I can honestly say, like, I'm a huge, like, horror freak, but the setup of this movie and the mind game that it did play, I've never seen before, and it was awesome. What is the message that you want people to get from this?
I mean, the true message within the movie is the, the layers of drug use are there, obviously, and, like, there's the don't do drugs message as far as, like, if you do drugs that you surround yourself with through bad energy and, you don't know where they came from, like, some fucked up shit can happen, right? So ultimately, like, without giving a spoiler alert, like, there's, like, some consequences in the drugs they do, right? You can kind of put it together. But there's also the layers within the movie with my character that I created on the second hint. So in the first movie, my character, I didn't want to be writer, director. I didn't want to wear all those hats. So I was like, I'm going to give the cast the chance to act. I had a small little role in the movie. Like, it was like this off character kind of a security guard thing, nothing big. And I was just writer-director. But then after, like, the first cut, people in Hollywood and people in my production, like, people that I respect their opinion very much so, said, Johnny, you need to act more in this thing on the second cut. Like, your acting is, like, on point. And I said, all right, fuck it. I'm going to rewrite my whole character. So I rewrote my character, and there's this kind of, like, symbolism that I represent, that who's really fucking crazy when you watch this movie? Is it my character that sounds crazy and you see in the trailer and stuff that I'm like a fucking loose cannon and within the movie? But am I crazy, or are the other people crazy? Like, who are really the crazy ones? The people that are doing the drugs and in the hospitals and the detox is crazy, or the people that are, like, allowing it to happen, are part of it happening, the crazy ones? Are the people turning a blind eye? So there's layers within all these characters where they all represent something in this kind of message of, like, the world that we're all, you and me, are all attached to, whether it's directly or indirectly, by this world of drugs that surrounds us, right? No one on this fucking Zoom right now is unaffected by drugs one way, shape, or form, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe no one's an addict. I don't know anyone's personal stories, but everybody in this Zoom, I can guarantee, has been affected through a friend, a family member, or some way, shape, or form by drug use, right? We're not talking like smoking weed, like that's like apples and oranges. We're talking about like the shit that's like fucking killing people and really fucking people up long term, And nobody's expressing this in movies. Like, think about it. Think about the lack of films that express the collateral damage of fucking drug abuse, you know?
Right.
You know, Requiem for a Dream, 1,000 years ago. Fucking
Uh-oh.
can't even think of the name of it, but another one, like it was like 2001. Like nothing current with the epidemic the way it is today showcases that stuff for anybody. Without it being a forced like anti-drug thing, with like more of a way that people that have been affected by it can kind of connect with it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, no,
right.
exactly. So we got a few minutes left here, Johnny, before we're going to let you go. After this release on the 13th of November, what else is on the plate? Anything brewing inside your head that we can talk about real quick?
So I'll tell you guys straight up, like I got, you know, this kind of been my niche market, this dark kind of drug, crime drama, horror. I have a crime drama ready to go. I have another psychological horror called Devil's Detox ready to go. And then I also have a comedy movie, which has nothing to do with drugs. But, you know, a friend of mine, Bill Burr, who's a huge comedian and, you know, actor and just hosted Saturday Night Live. He wants to do a film with me. And I don't think he's opposed to doing a crime drama or a horror film. But also he is a comedic actor, so it might make sense to do the comedy. So it's kind of like a roll of the dice right now of like which way I'm going with as far as my, you know, third installment of whatever my filmmaking career is. But I am casted for another movie.
We'll never know.
Technical difficulties. Uh-oh.
That's cool. He's multi-diverse and
Yeah, I think
filmmaking.
I think we lost him.
I think we did.
Let him know.
Well, we made it this long, so
Yeah, we're gonna. We want to thank Johnny for popping in,
yes, thank
talking
you.
with us. The movie sounds
Pretty
kick ass. I can't wait for it to come out. Habitual, we'll have all the links as usual up on hellentertainment.com. Check him out. Check
it out.
we're bringing back the check it out segment.
Check it out.
Check it out. And then, all the links on hellentertainment.com. Make sure you get out there November 13th for the movie. We'll bring him and say goodbye.
Get out there.
Oh, where's he gone?
It'll be
We're
right
back.
to them.
Oh, there's no sound.
No. No sound there, Johnny.
We're here. We're there. We can't hear you.
No.
You can't hear us.
No. Well, we thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for an interesting episode of Sundaze, episode 34 with Johnny from Habitual, A Grace Photography, myself, Diggs, and our Demon of the Month, Miss Widow Black. You can check her out, hellentertainment.com, Hellen Entertainment Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, we'll be on there at about 9:20-ish, talking about today with the recap. Check
Those
it
are
out.
fun. You come join us on those.
Check it out on
Fun.
Spotify, the episode. Check it out on hellentertainment.com. Bunch of new music just dropped the other day. Shit ton of music just dropped.
Dude, seriously.
Twisted dropped new music. Blaze dropped a new album.
Cane Hill.
Rob Zombie.
Bring Me the Horizon.
Ice Nine Kills.
They're dropping new music?
They just released something with Hollywood Undead.
Oh,
They actually did a collab, yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, a bunch of new shit, so.
And make sure you get
Check that
over
out.
to get your official Hell Entertainment merch over at the Demon's Closet. We all kinds of good stuff up there. As always, Demon of the Month, Miss Widow Black.
It's not as always. I have to correct you every time.
That's just
As
I'm saying
always.
as always.
always.
Technical difficulties.
For 3 Sundays.
No, it's always we have a Demon of the Month. It's just not always the same person.
But you say, as always, Christina,
Yeah, shut up.
Demon of the Month. You did that to me last month.
I'm gonna do it going in and out until you change me.
Well, that's
Good
what I
luck.
do.
Someone's been trying to change me for 16 years, hasn't she?
I'm not trying to change nothing.
Oh, on that note, ladies and germs, we are going to be out. Tune in next Sunday. Before we go, though, we're having a Thanksgiving contest. We're going to plug that real quick. Back in the day when you were in school and you traced your hands and made them into turkeys, we're doing a turkey hand contest.
I'm so excited.
We're going to have
Me too.
criteria up on hellentertainment.com. It's got to bring that good old razzle dazzle,
Yeah, we
as
want to
Amy
see the
put it,
pom-poms.
the
We
pipe
want to see
filters.
the freaking glitter. We want to see the feathers. Better get creative.
Originality.
You got 2 hands.
You get 2 hands to work with.
Maybe you have 1. Work with it.
Maybe you have 4 fingers. Work with it. We're going to have judges. We're going to have prizes. And as you saw from our last judges, they are hard as fuck to please.
That was fun.
Well, we might have new ones.
We're going to have new judges, yes. Talking to some people for some new judges. But that contest will be shown and aired the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And the hands are due Thanksgiving Eve. All that information will be available on hellentertainment.com. On that note, we leave you guys. We will see you next Sunday. And good night.
Bye.
Hey, what's up, man? I think it's pretty obvious right about now who you're looking at, but I'll tell you anyhow. I'm Shaggy Too Dope, the Southwest Strangler.
And I'm Violent J, the Duke of the Wicked.
And together we happen to be
The Insane Clown Posse.
And right about now, it's time to get a big, fat shout out to Hell's Entertainment. They're a media outlet for all touring artists.
They offer videography, design work, photography, motherfucking freshology. Are you a touring artist? Do you get out there and grind? Or are you a boring artist? Do you sit home and whine? Because if you're a worker, hook up with Hell's Entertainment.
That's right, Hell's Entertainment. You can reach them at www.hellentertainment.com.
And if you're not done with that, go to hell.